Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures pre-market session for Wednesday, December the 6th, 2017. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. Our hypotheses are our trade plans for the day. We do create multiple trade plans, two main, two alternatives. And we do this not to hedge ourselves, but to have a plan in place. We do not know what the market's going to do. Therefore, we create a plan based on simple auction logic and then wait for the market to open up, show us who's in control, and then execute the plan that best suits what the market is doing. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to during the pre-market session. Then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday we had another down day. It was a neutral extreme. We opened up. We are pretty much in pretty strong balance. They were holding the VWAP and the midpoint really well. We took this long off of the midpoint for the break of the IB high here, up into that middle distribution from the prior day. We got as high as 48.75. Sellers stepped in, rotated us down back into the lower distribution, went sideways for a while, and then we got the break below the 37, went down and took out the overnight low, which was at 33.75, and then we continue to trade down towards the half back. Last week's half back was 27, and the micro composite VPOC was at 25.50. We didn't quite get to the 25.50 in the RTH session, but they did go down there, went as low as the 26.20 in the Globex, and right now we're just chopping around in balance. So if we take a look at the bigger picture, we were in this balance for quite some time. We broke out. We accepted value higher up here around the 25.98 area. Then we gapped up, came up, and then accepted value around the 26.50 area, pushed up, took a trip back through value, and then put in the all-time high. Again, I don't know, we've had something like 71 new all-time highs in 2017. Just been unbelievable. And then in the last 2 days, Friday and yesterday, Monday and Tuesday, we have rotated off of that all-time high up at 26.65 1/4. This is not an unequalized high. This is actually an okay excess high, and we've come right back into balance here. Still pretty thin below us. If we do not hold this 25, I'm expecting that the low is going to get taken out. The key line for us is going to be down here at the 26.1875. That is the value area low of the balance that we're in right now. Anything below that, I'm looking for a move down to test the low of the month down at the 26.05 area and possibly come back down and test this 25.98 where they accepted value after the breakout of this balance. So, going to be choppy on the open because we're right back in balance. The area to watch above us is going to be that 34.25. I'm actually going to use 34.50, and that's going to be basically my over-under line. Right now, I am going to stay on the shorts until I see some buying coming in and look for a push down to the overnight low. One of the things I want to point out again that I talk about regularly, when we start getting expansion of the average true range. Right now, our average true range, our 20 period ATR full session, is running at 20.55 points. And when you see this happen, you're going to see expansion, not just in the RTH, but you're also going to see it in the Globex. And you can see we had an 11.5 point range in the Globex overnight, and you can see how active the OTF has stayed in the Globex. And this is where you're looking for these large range days where you can really make some good money if you get on the right side of things. Right now, the inventory overnight is about 80% net short in time and volume. We've got a VPOC here at the 2350. Really flat distribution. You can see how boxy this profile. Let me just bring this to the front. You can see how boxy this profile is from the 22 area up into the 27, and this is likely to be pretty choppy in this area. We've got an LVN here at 27, and we've got the overnight high up here at the 3150. In fact, I said 3450 was going to be my over-under. I'm going to adjust that to 3150. So let's just start taking a look at our areas here. So our overnight high is the 3150. Our overnight low is at the 20. Currently, our VPOC hasn't shifted, but it's likely to shift up a little bit higher here towards either the 2450 or the 25.25. I think 25.25 is more likely, but right now it is at 2350. And there's an LVN here at the 27.25, which is basically one tick below the low of yesterday. That's going to be an important trade level for us. The 31.75 is going to be my overnight high and my over underline. What I mean by that is just I put the emphasis on the short side. I'm looking to short rallies below the over-underline, and above the over-underline, I'm looking for moves to the upside. Our value area low from yesterday is here at the 34. That'll be a trade area, but I'm going to be really watching the 34.50. And then we've got this LVN at the 38.25. It is also the mid and the VWAP. Above that, I'm targeting the naked VPOC up here at the 40. As I said, our 20 period daily ATR full session average true range is running at 2055. So off of the low overnight, our daily ATR upside target is 4050. Off of the high overnight, our daily downside ATR target is down here at the 11. We're currently going to be opening up. Well, we still have time. We could get back inside of the prior day range. Let's take a look at the lower levels here. We've got the LVN here at 2175. And then we have the overnight low. And then it's the 1875, which is going to be my key line in the sand. This is where I really start to think to the short side. And then below that, we've got targets at the 1550, which is the 50% of the significant breakout candle that we did come down and test it. And usually I take it off, but it's the way we tested it here on that Flynn news on Trump. So I'm still looking for a regular auction down to the 50% retracement of the significant breakout channel, which is at the 1550 level. And then below that, we've got the 2611, and then the 0850, the 04 and a quarter. And the next big destination below, and this is why we're looking at 1875 as our key line in the sand, is all the way down here in the 2601 to the 2596 area. A lot of action that's got to be handled down here. Actually, there's a lot more even further down, but this would be a target on a breakdown day for me today. So in terms of levels above, we've got the naked VPOC and the open from yesterday, and then we've got this really significant LVN at the 44.75. This is going to be my key line above. And that means basically if we get above there, then I think it's possible that we go and attack that all-time high again and continue the auction up. Areas above here are 48, and then we've got targets at 50.75 and 61. I'm sorry, yeah, 61. With that naked VPOC and the weekly ATR up. We've already basically traveled the weekly average true range. Our weekly 20 period full session average true range is running at 36.40. We've already have gone beyond that. Our weekly downside ATR is at 28.75. So if we get below that and then we get below this key line in the sand, then we're really talking expansion and price discovery further down to see if we can find some motivated buyers. I mean, so far the buy the dips keep coming in, but they're getting weaker and weaker. So in terms of hypotheses in the ES, I'm looking for a open auction just inside of range or just outside of range. I'm looking for responsive buying coming up into this lower distribution. And I should have, why don't I not have a trade level right here? There should be a trade level right here. Because it won't go in, that's why. What I'm looking for is I'm looking for the rotation up into this lower distribution, and somewhere between the 31 and 38 area, I'm looking for sellers to step in, rotate us down, okay, break outside of the prior day range and come down towards this 20 and 1875, and then possibly base there and start working our way up. That is hypo 1, and I'm looking for hypo 1 to close in around the microcomposite VPOC, which is currently right now at 25.50. So this is balance. Hypo 2 is a open auction just out of range or just inside of range. I push down towards the 20 area, the 18 area, find the base, and then start working our way up into the lower distribution, coming up into the 38 and a quarter, and then pushing through, and then finding responsive sellers here and rotating us back down. And again, both my hypo 1 and hypo 2 has us closing in balance and having a balancing day around this this micro composite VPOC at the 25.50. I expect to close around there. Hypo 3 is going to be a open auction or open drive or an open rejection reverse. I'm looking for us to open, push up immediately, take out the naked close at 26, 28.50, and then find strong initiative sellers, pushing us down into the 18, chopping in this area, and then failing and coming down, taking out the 1550 area and pushing down into the 11 to 08 area and closing somewhere down here in the lower distribution of the microcomposite in around the 12 to 15 area. That is hypo 3. Hypo 4 is a open auction just out of range. Failure to take out the overnight low, rotate us up into the 38 area, between 38 and 34, go sideways, and then push up into the 40 and try to make a push up above the 44, but fail and come down and close somewhere in this distribution around the 40.75. So those are my four main hypotheses. The fifth hypothesis is a tight trading day and going sideways as we fight the low of the day, and basically trading between the 31 and the 21 area and just going completely sideways, almost creating a doji type day. I want to take a quick look at the news, then we'll take a look at gold and the Russell. We did have the ADP non-farm employment change. It came out better than expected, but the market did not react real well at first. It rotated down to that 24 area before it found the buyers and rotated up. Coming up, very important this morning, even though it's Canada, this is going to give us some indication. Next week we've got the rate decision from the Fed for US. Today we have the one from Canada. Usually Canada is a good indication of what the US is going to do. So at 10 o'clock we've got the Bank of Canada rate statement, and then 10:30 we've got crude inventories with gasoline, heating oil, etc., and that's about it for the economic news. We still have news in terms of Brexit. They're having troubles making a deal. Of course, we've still got the tax plan news and any news about the Mueller investigation. So we're, every day is a risk right now in terms of headline news. As you can see, we had that, on the news on Friday when we had that big move down to the 26.05. So take a quick look at gold. Gold. We continue to trade below the composite VPOC at the 1280.40. This is very weak. We broke a very key level yesterday at the 67. And the next level we've got to watch is this 61.4 level. And if we don't hold that, then I'm looking for a free fall down into the 52s. Our two-day balance right now is at the 68.60 area. We're currently trading at 66.5 in this little distribution zone right here. Again, levels to watch: 63 for a push to 61. Anything below 61, looking for them to come down to this 52 and see further weakness in gold. Above us, the level to watch is this 71. Anything above the 71, then I'm looking for a rotation up into the 75, 76. And if we come up there and accept that, I move back into balance again to that 1280.40. Right now, I'm a little bit weak on gold in terms of my bias, but overall, I'm still looking for gold to start to make a move back up into the 1300s again. But right now, the market is telling us that they're still looking for buyers with some conviction. Going over to the RTY. Why my layout bar is not pinning properly. So there's my Globex chart. Okay, so in terms of the overnight session right now, our overnight high is at 19.6. Okay, something's wrong with my scroller. I had this in place. Why did I move it? There's something going on with my IRT 19.6. Now it won't let me scroll. And then our overnight low is down at 10. Our overall balance rate now is at this 1510, and they bounced right off of it. You know, we're in this distribution zone. I want to put another profile just up here in this area right here. And you see that our current VPOC from the 21st is up here at the 19.7, and we've got this longer time frame microcomposite at the 15.10. That's basically going to be your over/under line for the day. If we get below it, I'm looking for a move down to test that low of the week down at the 94.80. I'm sorry. The low of the last 2 weeks down at 94.80. So if we look at our levels, our average true range right now is 22.12. That's a full session 20 period ATR. That takes our daily upside ATR in the Russell up to 32, and our downside daily ATR down to that 97.50. In terms of levels, we've got a double distribution here from yesterday. That is going to be our over/under line. And our key line in the sand is going to be that 10. That's also our overnight low. Obviously, simple levels, and again, you know, I'm not trading the Russell yet. I'm doing my my analysis in December. I will start trading it in January. But I'd like to give at least a month of serious analysis. So in terms of the auction, it's going to be basically the same thing as the ES. I'm looking for an open auction just in range or just out of range. I'm looking for a responsive buying up into the lower distribution and somewhere between the overnight high at the 19.6 up to the 25, possibly even a push up into the 27.50. I'm looking for sellers to step in, rotate us down, break through the range low from yesterday, push down to this 15.10, possibly even push through down to the 14.97. But I'm looking for a basing pattern and then a rotation back up and closing somewhere in around that 15.30 area and back in this lower distribution. Hypo 2 is the opposite, a push up, a push down first into the 15.10, somewhere between 15.10 and the 14.97, finding buyers, rotating us back up, chopping in the lower distribution, and then pushing up into the 27, possibly even into the 32, and then coming back and closing somewhere in around the 20 area. That is Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a breakdown day, failure to get above the LVN, break below the range, break below the overnight low, push through down to the 97, and Hypo 3 is going to have a target down here at the 92.40. And we just got to put 77 in. Oops, sorry, not 77, 78. And then finding a base down at the 92 area and start working our way up. And then Hypo 4 is going to be open auction, failure to take out the overnight low, push up into the upper distribution, and then start working our way back up towards this 1553.20 area. Again, it's a little loose on the Russell because of the fact that I'm just starting to pay attention to the levels. Still have work to do there. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.